Welcome, my dear viewers, to my newest Andromeda build. I'm trying out a new voice and you will have to bear with me.
Welcome, dear viewers. Herzlich willkommen.
Welcome, dear viewers.
Oh, alright, enough of that. This is the Dragon Sorcerer. The name I choose for the build doesn't have much to do with the Sorcerer character class from the older Elder Scrolls games. It's more of a nod to the Dungeons and Dragons sorcerers, who were born with a magical talent and don't need any sort of official education for it. This particular sorcerer is a Nord's Nord, one of the Nordiest Nords ever actually, except he doesn't quite get what's all the fuss about magic. In his book there is nothing wrong about it, especially about Destruction School. It makes stuff go boom. What's not to like in it, man?
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people.
Speaking of books, he hates them and he will never join the College of Winterhold. This means he is limited in his choice of spells to Novice, Apprentice and Adept spells. But that's no biggie, he will do just fine with the Apprentice level of magic, because Apprentice is his star sign. And he also likes to live off the land and make his own stuff, which means he will be very good with both enchanting and alchemy. With his enchantments, potions and standing stone, he will be able to cast spells of all three elements with no interruption, just spraying frost, fire and lightning all over Skyrim. Ooh, and he really enjoys being the Dragonborn and shouting. So the playstyle looks like this. Have an OP Dagger of Chaos and absorb Magicka, smash all the buttons all the time, and that's it really. Simple, easy to remember, I like it. But let's start with the attributes ratio, which is approximately 2:1 Magicka to health. But this guy is an enchanter, so the exact stat spread will depend on how many slots you wanna sacrifice for increasing your attributes. The race is a Nord because reasons, alright? He should be native to this old barbaric land, I feel. But if you really need to min-max everything, go for higher for Britain, of course, because they also know how to make things go boom. And the Standing Stone. Yes, Andromeda does wicked things to the Apprentice Stone. First, the Novice spells don't cost you anything with the stone activated. Second, it introduces an element of chaos to your spells, which now have a chance to be more effective, but also a much smaller chance to be less effective. Random, like the enchantment on your dagger, so it goes well with the theme. And all your spells now cost 15% less magicka, so yay! Your main skills should be Distraction, Enchanting, Alchemy, Restoration, and light armor, of which the first and the one you should be focusing the most is the Distraction skill. And we will take everything here except Disintegrate, because it has issues and Expert and Master perks, which are of no use. But other than that, you will be specializing in all the elements, you will have Impact for your crowd control, and the choice whether to cast a spell from one hand or dual cast it will be an important decision every combat. Increasing your damage for all the elements is costly, but it opens a lot of cool combos for you. My favorite is Chain Lightning and Ice Storm. The former just finds its target whether you are accurate with your shots or not, and the latter just slows everything in front of you. You almost don't need to aim, just run around and smash all the buttons like a maniac. The spells will know what to do. And with your Fortified Destruction potions, the Novice spells will retain its usefulness in the late game, at least in easier fights. So you can slow your attackers down with Frostbite, for example, in one hand, while burning them with your flames in the other. Keep the frosty spell going, but turn the flames on and off repeatedly to stack the afterburn. Afterburn, 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 afterburn. With your alchemy, your options are nearly limitless. However, its main purpose will be to increase your spell damage by about 150% and poisoning your enemies with a weakness to magic poison. So take all the ranks of alchemist, physician, benefactor, poisoner and concentrated poison perks. You can make a very useful concoction from creep clusters, dwemer oil and some kitchen salt. It will increase your magic damage dealt to the poisoned target and slow them down. In enchanting skill, just take everything other than Soul Squeezer and Soul Siphon. You're gonna need these sweet left side perks for your insanely powerful dagger and your anti-dragon boots. In restoration, take novice and apprentice perks and then regeneration and both ranks of recovery. For a weird mage such as this one, who mainly casts very cheap spells, magicka recovery is way more important than sheer magicka value, and regeneration means your low tier restoration spells will be more than enough to keep you alive. Now this character may be a bit squishy. You will need to be careful around people with huge two-handers. So go for the mobility of light armor with all the ranks of agile defender, custom fit perk and unhindered perk. It will not make you a tank unless you want to delve into some smithing as well, but it will be enough to give you some time to heal yourself with spells. Your light armor perks will be fully effective because you will be wearing the Diadem of the Seventh, which gives you another 5% to your magicka cost reduction on all spells. Enchant your dagger, which I thought should be the Dragon Priest dagger for the looks, with the Chaos enchantment and absorb magicka. Chaos will be greatly improved by your Destruction and Enchanting perks, and absorb magicka, as the cheaper of the two enchantments, will be increased by Chaos, which means you will absorb more than 80 points of magicka per hit. LOL. As your necklace, use the Amulet of Talos to shout more frequently, which of course should be combined with praying to Talos at his shrines as often as possible. And then it might be a good idea to get a Staff of Chain Lightning, since it will be one of your most expensive spells to cast. It's good to be able to use it from time to time with no magicka cost. The list of spells for him is pretty intuitive. Just take every destruction spell of adept level or lower. Get them all, especially the runes, since you have the Rune Master perk in the Destruction School. And never forget to wear your Whirlwind Cloak in combat. Whirlwind Cloak and good old Unrelenting Force will keep them at bay, limiting your problems with low armor rating. Speaking of Unrelenting Force, try to get some other shouts too, specifically Dragon Aspect, Frost Breath, Fire Breath, Marked for Death, Slow Time, and maybe Bend Will, to ride a dragon from time to time. Slow Time makes for a very good combo with Ice Storm spell because you can stack some incredible amounts of damage with this spell in Slow Time mode. And Marked for Death is on the list just in case you feel like your poisoned dagger of doom and disaster isn't really dealing enough damage. It might be a good idea for this build to use the one-word versions of your shout more often than the full shouts, since they will play a supporting role in your combat style, and the slow time especially will always help you no matter how many words you use. And just before I started editing this one, there actually came to me, the Wabbajack may be a very fitting addition to this build. This way there is even more random chaotic elements in your combat, which is quite funny, without making you any weaker. Turning Draugr into bunnies is something everyone should try sometime. And that would be it for the build. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you decide to try it yourself. If you feel like it, come back for more Skyrim builds later. I hope we will see each other again. Bye bye.